wellness, lifestyle, and beauty segment. In particular, we're going to be looking at issues in regard to lifestyle and wellness. And this morning, we're going to be having a conversation of looking at how to keep it together when everything seems to be falling apart. Now, this particular conversation is actually going to be split into two. And first, we are going to look at it as a leader, and then later on, we shall be looking at it on an individual basis. So as a leader in a company, as a leader in an economy, as a leader in whatever capacity you might be, how to keep it together when everything seems to be falling apart. Well, in many circumstances, us as subordinates, us as employees, us as people who follow orders, we think that our leaders have everything put together, like they are gods of some sort. But in actual sense, they have demons and skeletons that they constantly battle with. So as a leader, the question would be how to keep it together and making sure that the people around you are able to understand that you are human, that you also have feelings, that you feel pain. Well, joining me at the center of this conversation is, of course, a lady that I'm sure that you have seen a couple of times on Sunrise at Sea, and she's none other than Madame Judith. Hi, Judith. Nice to see you.
Hey, thank you. Good morning. You look gorgeous today.
Thank you. You look amazing too.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about how to keep it together when everything seems to be falling apart. First of all, are there times when things have been falling apart for you and you had to keep it together because you're in a leadership position?
All of the time.
Really? Interesting. It's the story of your life.
When you're a leader, there's always something falling apart. So I'd like our viewers this morning to think about, how do I turn my pain into progress? How do I turn my pain into gain? How do I turn my mess into message?
Very strong statements right there.
Yeah, so that means the only way you do that is by keeping it together. If you fall apart, then you won't be able to live to turn your mess into your message.
But then isn't that putting on a show for so long?
It's actually never a show. The other word for it is coping. How do I cope? And yes, part of coping sometimes is a show. Sometimes, Siobhan, you'll be going through something and you're on this set and you're blinking back tears. But you must put up the show so that you do this and finish. And then you can go to the bathroom and cry your heart out and wash your face and come back. Sometimes shows are not just shows. They are critical. If you're the head of the family and you've just lost someone, you can't be rolling on the ground. What will happen to the children? I know deep down you want to roll, but you sit and you say, okay, let me first compose myself. Then I can go and scream it out. Luckily, like I keep telling you, God gave us powerful endowments. He gave us sheer willpower. We can withstand certain things, we can release certain things, and we have control. A lot of times we do have control. A leader, again, in reference to one of the conversations we've had here, one of your main roles is to plan, to prepare things, is to guide people, is to be a point of reference, to be a pillar for others, and to do that with love and empathy. Most leaders want to do it with bossiness. No. A leader, an effective leader, must have the capacity to be empathetic, to know that, okay, this, my worker, for example, is pregnant. Don't expect her at office at 6. How will she do it? Sometimes she has morning sickness. When you find her at 7, say, good morning, you made it this early? Let them feel that you value that they put in an extra effort. The role of a leader is to cheerlead their team. The role of a leader is to allow the team to exert themselves, to do what they do best, not to have somebody sit there and start to hover over you. Can you imagine if everybody that is your supervisor would sit on this set and they are looking at how you're moving, how you're turning, what you're saying, and they are busy in the background telling you, don't say it that way. You would never have an authentic show. And so, Siobhan, leadership is not bossship. For a long time, leaders have felt more of bosses, more of supervisors. And I'm not saying a leader's role is not to supervise, but there is a way sometimes people overdo it and they don't allow innovation. I remember one time in a previous workplace, a gentleman told another that you're paid and hired to do, not to think. So don't start sharing your opinions here. I mean, a leader should take my opinions and consider it while they are planning, so that they're able to move.
As the saying goes, fake it till you make it. They might not come out to necessarily tell you some of the issues that they're going through because they're probably shielding you. Their role is to protect you and make sure your working environment is good, depending on what capacity you're serving. But who is looking out for the leaders? They're looking out for us.
Yes.
But who is looking out for them? Where does the leader run to when everything is falling apart?
Let me tell you something. A leader that is a team leader that runs a two-way communication process has a fallback, including your own team. Being a leader doesn't mean that you know it all. Actually, surround your people, yourself, with people smarter than you. That's how you shine as a leader. And Siobhan, where we are going, the word competition needs to reduce completely. We complement each other. The same business. I enjoy looking at the women that sell and the men that sell in shops or in markets. So I'm usually consistent where I buy my groceries. And then the lady say, ha, customers there, they don't one neighbor. What does that mean? They back each other up. They help each other stay afloat. So the whole competition business, when it comes to a whole line of women selling tomatoes, changes.
So now that we have highlighted on the role of a leader, what a leader ought to do, how he can actually, keep his head above the ground even when everything is going bizarre. Now the question would be, you're a leader. Being a leader, that means you have people below us. You have people below you. So the question is, for us who are below these leaders, how do we best help these leaders to actually thrive? How do we make their work less hectic?
First of all, I will first go back to the leader. The system and the structure that you put in place is what will make you in time of a crisis or break you.
Yes.
If you have a closed door policy, when the emperor is naked, no one will come in to say, sir, the emperor is naked. You will die in that office, you will lock it and sweat plasma in there. If you have an open door policy, if people know you are approachable as a leader, they'll come and say, boss, this is not working. There's uncertainty. There are things that are happening. You're a TV person, there are things that are happening right now in the country, but we are not able to talk about them directly. We are proposing that we approach it this way, to be able to continue to support the nation, to be able to protect our children, to be able to protect our families. So again, you have to know one thing as a leader. The buck starts and stops with you. A bad workman blames their hoe. No. You have to fix the hoe. If you read John Maxwell, The Invaluable Laws of Growth, you will know this. There are so many lessons. I will not discuss them this morning. But just know that your team can only rise as high as you are.
Well, Jenny, this has been very insightful. Thank you so much. Your words of wisdom are always things that I would urge everyone to wake up in the morning, watch Sunrise. So actually, these words of wisdom are given for free on national TV. Well, thank you so much, Madam Judith, for joining us this morning on Sunrise at Sea. And I hope that for the leaders out there, that we were able to speak to your insecurities, were able to speak to the things that you battle with. I, for one, in every organization I have worked, in every place, regardless of what role I play, I'm always very careful to pray for the leaders. Because you see, when your leader is not in their right state of mind, whether as an employer or as a father in whatever capacity, then it will definitely have a trickle down effect on you.
Yes.
So I think it's very important that as citizens of Uganda, as human beings, that for once in a we need to put ourselves in our leaders' positions once in a while and ask ourselves the question, if I was in that leadership position, would things be any different? Because you must not forget that they're humans too. Tomorrow, he's the boss. Tomorrow, you will be the boss. And the
Absolutely.
same things that you're doing, they will
Absolutely.
definitely do to you. Well, that rounds up the conversation that we had for you this morning on wellness, beauty, and lifestyle. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea. And for your wellness, lifestyle, and beauty segment in particular.